Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And this time I'll be reviewing a movie which I could have reviewed in during Halloween month, but I had other than ones though. But so post Halloween, well, very late though. But it's another film that came out. There's another film that came out this year called Barbarian. So Barbarian, another film that came out this year. And the film came out, excuse me, it got a lot of praise from critics. It's a 92% Rotten Tomatoes. Got a lot of high praise. And even was on a low budget of $4.5 million. It made $45 million worldwide, $40 million domestically in the US. So that was a box office hit though. And it got a lot of critically praise from critics. Barbarian, I gotta say, it was a disappointment. I would say. That's why I put a rant on this, because the film had potential. It was a film that had potential, and it just ended up being disappointed. Now, it's not like one of those. It's not one of those films like it's a remake of a sequel or anything like that, right? Which I do appreciate, though. I do appreciate the attempt to try and do something different and new. You know, if it fails, it fails, though. But at least they try to attempt to do something different and new, though. Like, take for example, Malignant from last year in 2021. I love Malignant. That did something new and refreshing especially with the capabilities from director James Wan. Right? I enjoyed Willy's Wonderland. Yeah, you can see it's kind of like a ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy's type of way, though. But the thing is, though, I enjoyed the setup. I enjoyed Nicolas Cage. You know, his character was a badass. You know, didn't talk at all. Kind of like a man with no name type of guy. I enjoyed Willy's Wonderland. This year, also from this year, The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke. He was a good bad guy in that. I even liked the child actors that was in that. The idea, though it's based on a short story by Stephen King's son, right? I like The Black Phone. Nope, from Jordan Peele, which I was kind of sketchy at first, though, right? But I really did enjoy Nope, you know, and I enjoy the two leads, you know, with Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, right? You know, brother and sister working together trying to defeat this alien monster, which it was. I think it's a UFO, but it turns out it's not aliens. It's actually the UFO itself is a monster, trying to do the best to defeat this creature. I enjoyed Nope, and when I heard about this film, when they got a lot of praise for, and I've always been eager to check it out, right? And the cast, okay, you got Georgina. Was it Georgina? Excuse me. Georgina Campbell, who plays this character named Tess. Bill Skarsgard. Bill Skarsgard, known from playing the new Pennywise from the new Stephen King It movies. He's in this. Justin Long. You know, from Dodgeball, the fourth Die Hard film, Live Free or Die Hard. He was in Drag Me to Hell, of course, starring that shitty Kevin Smith film, Tusk. Which he's been also regular with director Kevin Smith, though, but still. Which he even appeared in that new that shitty Clerks 3 film. Okay, I like Justin Long. So the acting. So for the cast, very decent, you know. Even for Bill Skarsgård, he did a decent job in this film. Despite I don't like the new It movies. I think Bill Skarsgård, he was a shitty Pennywise. I prefer, which makes you like Tim Curry's Pennywise even more. To me, Bill Skarsgård, he was a shitty Pennywise. I'm sorry. Especially with the laughable ending where they killed Pennywise, which makes me think, you know, people make fun of the ending of the 90s It miniseries with Tim Curry, you know, how they killed that creature, you know. And how they do that with the new It film, where he uses a baby face, they tease him, right, and that's how they kill him. I'm not getting started on that though, but that was that. I hate those. I hate those shit movies. I call it shit. Add sh to it. Shit. Bill Skarsgard, he was not a good Pennywise for me. But here in this, though, I thought he was decent in this movie. He plays a guy named Keith who is, the girl Tess, Georgina Campbell, doesn't kind of trust girls. She has a way of not trusting people, though, but she kind of warms up to the guy, right? And he seems like a very nice guy, So I thought Bill Skarsgård, he was decent in this movie. Justin Long, which I like Justin Long, but his character, he just right off the bat, he just comes off a douchebag, straight out, right? Because he's a guy who's an actor who got involved in a scandal, like sexual assault scandals, thinking that, well, it turns out maybe the way this character is perceived, it does figure like he did do the bad things, which he could have made it thinking like, okay, did he do it or did he not? Okay, but the more with his character goes, it shows that he did do the stuff. I'm like, great, just a shit guy from the get go, basically. But it's not Justin Long's fault. It's not his fault. It's the writing in this movie that what lets this film down for me. Because what else I like, the positive things I can say about the film, the acting isn't the problem. I thought that all the actors do their jobs very decently. The directing, how the way some of the camera angles, cinematography wise, I thought was very well shot sometimes. The score, who did the score for this film? Anna Drubech, sorry, but how I said it wrong, but the score I thought was kind of very decent as well. So there's some of the directing, like I said, with the camera angles, stuff I thought was pretty. All the stuff I thought was very well done, and even for the beginning of the movie, I thought it was starting out pretty good as well, but then. And then sometime like afterwards, when it comes to like the start of the second half, that's when it all just goes downhill from here. So the biggest thing is it's not the acting, the camera work, the score, whatever. It's the writing in this movie that makes it very disappointing. That's why. Now, will this be on my worst list of this year? Probably not. Because, like I said, there's positive things I liked about it, though, because the film had potential. Just like all of the films I like from this year and from last year, I want to like new things, At least it was not like being a remake or a sequel or a reimagining or whatever. Okay, you're trying to do something different, go for it, Yeah, sometimes it won't always succeed, which, sadly, this film did not succeed in that, sadly. Yeah, at least I appreciate the attempt to do something different, but the thing is, though, it was disappointing. Like I said, sometimes you succeed, sometimes you attempt to do something, you succeed or you don't. Like, Malignant succeeded, right? Like, Nope succeeded. This film, Barbarian, didn't. It was a big letdown, because that's what the film's biggest flaw is, the writing in this. The screenplay. The screenplay, yeah, the screenplay in this was the biggest downfall for this, which is written by the director. The director is Zach Cregger. He not only directed this, but he wrote the movie, so he is at fault at this. It's not his directing was bad; it's his writing what was the biggest fault in this. Because basically it comes to the halfway, almost when some start of the second half, because with Tess, because it takes place in Detroit, which is in a rundown neighborhood in Detroit, which didn't that kind of like set up? Didn't they do that setup? Didn't Don't Breathe took place in Detroit? How it was all run in a rundown neighborhood, where they attempted to rob Stephen Lang. Didn't that also take place in Detroit, where it was all run down neighborhood? I forgot. I think so. And so if that's the case, okay, why? And I run down to Detroit again, okay. But she has the character test. She comes into town because she has a job interview, right? And she books a what is it? It's not a hotel that she books. It's like a rental house. It's a rental house she books in. But the thing is, though, she double books with this guy, Keith, played by Bill Skarsgard. And like I said, she's not kind of like not trusting because, okay, understandable though. But the thing is, though, she kind of warms up to the guy when they're talking, right? And even says a line like, I forget what it was. It's basically just if you keep on doing this, you're not going to be able to trust anybody in this world. It's not the exact same line, but it's kind of like sort of like it though. But so you need to open yourself up to more other people, right? Okay, so Bill Skarsgård, he does a decent job delivering that to the character. And then when he leaves, she does her job interviews, and then she gets attacked by this. Well, she doesn't get attacked, but there's this homeless guy telling her there's somebody in the house. You need to leave. You gotta leave. And then one thing leads to another. She finds this. She finds in the basement. There's this locked door. She goes in, and then here's a part of the thing that was like part of that was kind of smart about it. It kind of reminded me of Nope. Basically, right? Pun intended. Nope. Where she finds this room where a dirty mattress. There's a camcorder, and there's a bloody handprint, and she kind of like does a smart thing. Says, "Nope, I'm out of here." It kind of like reminds me of what Daniel Kaluuya did in Nope, right? He's like, "Nope, fuck this, I'm out of here." It kind of reminded me of that in Nope, right? Well, like, good, you see all those creepy. They say that bloody handprint. Screw it, I'm out of here. So she does. She did, but then that's when it comes up to this point. This is where it starts going downhill because Bill Skarsgård, he comes back in. She tells her about this, and then Bill Skarsgård goes and says, "What He says, "I gotta see this for myself." Which I'm like, why? Why do you need to go down there and see this for yourself? She's telling you she's creeped out and she's telling you about this stuff. Why do you need to go down there and see for yourself? This is the point where I think this, like I said, Bill Skarsgård, he seems like a nice guy and all that stuff though. But the thing is though, by the time when he says that, after that, his character becomes dumb. He becomes dumb like a bunch of rocks. He goes down there to see for himself. He gets taken. He's screaming, right? Tess first, she wants to leave, though, but the thing is, though, she hears him screaming, so she can't help it, because since the guy was nice to her, she kind of feels bad. Then she goes back down there to get him, and, frees him, but then, like I said, Bill Skarsgård, he does a stupid thing. He goes from being a nice guy to an absolute dumb idiot. He becomes dumb like a bunch of rocks. I guess it was a way of once again pointing out that men are dumb and the girl is smarter, right? Women are smarter and men are dumb. Which if you try to point that out in this movie, which I'm tired of seeing of in movies. Okay. Oh, you see, you see that in dumb horror films from back in the 80s and 90s. We're in 2022. You can do better, okay? Last year, okay, I like strong women, okay? Like I said, Ellen Ripley from Aliens, or even the girl in Madison from Malignant. What she did at the end to Gabriel. I like that. I like some women like those being strong. But they can be. But at the same time, men can be strong too. Not all the times they'd be dumb idiots. Like in Willy's Wonderland, Nicolas Cage, right? He sees that these robots can come to life, but the thing is, though, the guy, Nicolas Cage, he's not fazed by any of this. He sees them, with the ostrich, right? He sees it moving close to him, he's like, looking at it, not fazed by it. Or when they take a peck at his face, right? And he's like, snaps the broom handle, starts beating the crap out of that ostrich. That's a guy who's not fazed by anything. He's not taking no bull crap from any of these dumb robots. He's just gonna beat the crap out of him, and he's gonna continue cleaning the restaurant until he gets his car back in the morning. Something like that, you know. But here, though, once again, like he says, but Bill Skarsgård, he dies from his freaking stupidity. Once again, like some other characters I've seen before in horror films, they die from their freaking stupidity, or even women die from their freaking stupidity. Thing is, though, she came back from the direction where Tess came from. She did not get attacked at all. She came from the exit, right? But for some reason, some stupid reason, Bill Skarsgård says, you know, oh, I'm gonna go the other way. You know, here's something. He wants to go where that noise is coming from. Instead of going in the direction where she came, from the exit, no, he decides to run the other way, and lo and behold, he gets killed. He gets bashed in 6 ways till Sunday, basically. Like I said, it's not Bill Skarsgård's character. It's not Bill Skarsgård's fault. It's the writing, how they wrote the character. Okay, don't blame it on the actor. You blame it on the screenplay, the writing, the script, whatever. Instead of going the direction where I came from, which is the exit, the girl, right, and the guy says, no, I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go the other way, where you hear something, I'm gonna go that way. And guess what? Lo and behold, he dies from his freaking stupidity, and he just got smashed to bits. And it turns out, because the reason why it was lost, because there was this rabid, deformed, feral lady, which is actually played by a guy, really enough. The guy, it's actually played by a guy called the character's name is the Mother, and it's actually played by a guy played by Matthew Patrick Davis. He does the guy does fine playing as this woman, you know. I'll give props to that. You know, it's like with also the time when it's like that other crap film I reviewed this year called X, right? Where the lead girl, she's playing a double role, a young girl, teenage girl, right? And she's playing a much older woman, right? You know, you get props to doing stuff like being in makeup and stuff like that, right? Make yourself look older and all stuff, right? But that I hated X, so I gotta say, as disappointing as this film was, I was not totally mad by the movie, though. I think I would rather prefer watching Barbarian over X or Men or what other horror films I didn't like this year. Well, I can say I'd probably say this is better than any A24 horror movie, you know, because every horror film characters in those movies, they don't act like human beings at all anyway. Like in Hereditary or Midsommar, you know. This year was just those films made me more mad, especially those two movies, because I'm tired of A24 making crappy horror films, or even Land, which I also reviewed earlier this year, but it was from last year that I'm saying. I'd rather watch Barbarian over any of those movies, because those films just piss me off even more. So I'm tired of seeing those freaking A24 overrated crap horror films. See, it gets me all riled up because that shows how much I hate those movies. Here I was, and it's just disappointing how it was. But it shows how much I just hate those A24 movies. Stick with doing comedies or dramas, like Uncut Gems or Disaster Artists. But yeah, but all those, you know, I'd rather watch Barbarian over any of those movies, those horror A24 movies. But yeah, I hate business with Bill Skarsgård's character. He just died from his freaking stupidity. And so, and it turns out, because there was all these tunnels where the girl was at, right? All these tunnels, kind of like you say, it's like a maze or whatever, a labyrinth. It turns out this one guy, which I call bullshit on this, because the guy who made these tunnels is played by is a guy named Frank, played by Richard Brake. Which Richard Brake, I remember, he appeared in a lot of Rob Zombie's movies. He was in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He was that guy, that one corner guy, when he was trapped in that van. He kept saying, fuck, fuck, fuck. And then Michael Myers saws his head off, which was a good effect, though, but I'm saying. He was in that. He played other Rob Zombies. Halloween was like 31 or what was it? 3 Steps from Hell. I think it was in that. And he of course appeared in the new shitty Monsters movie. But he was also in Doom as well. The 2005 Doom movie with Dwayne Johnson and Carl Urban. Richard Brake, he's the guy. He's the guy who made all these tunnels by himself. Made all these huge tunnels, like a maze, whatever. All these corridors, all these rooms, whatever, which I call absolute bullcrap on that, because there's no way in hell there's one guy who had to take, which without no bulldozers, no you don't need a wrecking ball, but I'm saying no bulldozers, no like with those things one of those construction things that you scoop dirt with, right? Or a jackhammer or anything. It's hard to me by the fact this guy single-handedly made all these tunnels, which even if it took 20 or 30 years, I still don't buy that. I don't buy this guy single-handedly making all these tunnels by himself, so secretive, without anyone else knowing. I'm sorry, that was one of the most bullcrap one of the most bullcrap things I've seen in the movies I've seen this year. I don't buy that for a second. And then it turns out this guy, Richard Brake, he also used these because he raped multiple women. He also, because the camcorder that we saw earlier, he used that videotape to video himself raping women, and how all these children, which he also did rape as well, and one of them, and that mother is among one of those rabid children that one from the women that he raped, which makes me determine the point. It makes me put another point here is it makes another point though. What happened to all the bodies? To all the women that Richard Brake did, and let alone the children, those other children he also did as well. Where are the bodies? We don't see no skeletons or rotting corpses and all these other rooms. You don't see any of that. What happens? Did they all just disappear? After he killed and did all that stuff, they all just disappear? Just brought away instantly? I don't know. We don't even see any skeletons over the course of how many years he did this. Nothing. Except there's the one woman left, and that's it. But you don't see any other rotting corpses or skeletons or anything. So, and then we see Justin Long. Turns out he's an actor, but he's a douche. From straight up from the get-go, he's a douchebag, because he's an actor. His thing, he did a pilot for his TV show, a sitcom, I think. It's not gonna be picked up because it also led to this sexual assault charges, which means I think he did do these things because the way his character is written, and it turns out it makes you think that he did do the things he did. And also the fact he's also proves a douchebag because he hangs up on his mom, goes to this club, which that could have been cut out of the movie. We didn't need to see him going to this club. We didn't need to see any of that. And then when he gets there, and the stupid thing, it's supposed to be because this character also we gotta have comedy thrown in this as well. Because when one thing leads to another, when Justin Long, when he gets to that place, and when he finally goes down there, right, he sees all this stuff: the bloody handprint, the bed, the filthy bed, even there's these cages and stuff, right? He's not bothered by any of this, right? He just wants to take measurements, a measuring tape to measure the room. I'm like, why does he need to measure these rooms? I mean, doesn't it see all this creepy stuff that you see in this room? The bloody handprint, the filthy mattress, the bed, whatever, cages. He's not bothered by it at all. and then when he gets attacked by the mother, was put into the place with the girl, and they escape, and even where Justin Long finds the guy, Richard Brake, he's on the bed too. He wants to, which he does call the police, because it turns out that's one thing I've heard mentioned. Why is the girl text? Because she has a phone. She could have text anybody or call the police too, though, but she doesn't, though, for some reason. But Justin Long does. And then, then he finds the tapes of the horrible things that Richard Brake did, and then Richard Brake kills himself. Takes a gun and he shoots himself. So, and after that, they get out of there. Then when the police come, we just get these dumb cops, which, if anyone's going to say anything about dumb cops, because of everything what's going on nowadays, which especially with cops, which I'm not. I once again, I just want to put. I don't want to put any political things in my videos. That's what I don't do in my videos. Okay, but the thing is, though, when they try to do something, they pull stuff like this, because they want to say, "Oh, cops are dumb, they're stupid." If anyone's gonna say that, right? The thing is, in reality, not every single freaking cop in this world is bad. Okay, yes, there are certain ones that there are, but the thing is, though, but that's like in the 10% range, right? Okay, you can say, or maybe in the 5% range. You can say 99, but 95%, of cops, there are not all bad guys. Okay, there are a lot of good cops out there, right? And the whole thing with the defund the police thing, which I'm tired of hearing of. Okay, not all freaking cops are freaking bad. Okay, because the thing is, though, if you're still gonna call 911 if your house gets broken into or someone wants to attack you in your own home. Sometimes the logical thing, most of the time, the most logical thing you're still gonna do, you're still gonna call 911. You're not just gonna allow them to break into your house and do horrible things to you that cause harm for you and your family or anything else. Okay, you're just gonna stand there and allow that to happen. I'm not getting into all that stuff, because I'm tired of of these stupid people saying that every single goddamn cop is bad. Okay, they're not. All right. It just boggles my mind people especially people are so freaking stupid nowadays. They're thinking that cops are so bad, Yeah, so okay, if next time, okay, if your house gets robbed or anything, if you have no weapons to defend yourself, what are you gonna do then, huh? Sorry, that's the reality as it is, alright? Tired of stupid people saying bullshit like that. Cops are bad. I'm stopping right there, okay? But the thing is, in films, they want to say, they want to put in here and say that cops are stupid, I'm dropping it right there, okay? I don't want to talk about that anymore, because that's not what I do in my videos. But things when stuff gets brought up like this, it just pisses me off. So I had to go a little off tangent on that. But the thing is, though. But I don't say it usually in my videos, but the thing is, though, sometimes I have to get the point has to get across. But yeah, and after all that, the woman, the crazy feral lady, whatever, and then somehow this woman is like superhuman and nearly indestructible. So if you're born deformed and raped from a raped woman, right? Somehow you're just superhuman, right? Because she gets ran by the legs by the cop car, and she's still fine. And can still run and jump high. Cause she can still jump high, and even to the point where with Justin Long's character, where they run up this water tower, and he, being the douchebag as he is, because this guy has no redeeming moments. Which you could have, but they don't, because the script is so poorly written. See that there? My stomach just reacted because how stupid the script is. Even my stomach knows that it's telling the truth. That it cannot put up with this bullshit anymore. But yeah, Justin Long, she throws the girl off the tower, and the mother somehow could just pulls off this, like you see. It's superhuman. So it can pull off what a superhero does to save, like Superman or whoever, to save the woman that's fallen, right? Especially with tits bouncing up and down, which that makes it so laughable. It is laughable. This whole scene where this Jones tries to save the girl Tess, Georgina Campbell, it was silly and freaking laughable. And yet, somehow, okay, the girl Tess lands on top of her, the mother, yet the girl, she's somehow fine, even though this woman's like skinny or as hell, whatever, somehow she's fine, unscathed, no bruises or broken arm or leg, whatever. No, she gets up, she's fine and dandy. And also the mother, she is perfectly fine as well. Like, you could gain ran by the leg, yet you still can run and jump high and then leap off the freaking tower and just land on top of have the girl land on top, and you're so freaking fine. And then Justin Long, he tries to admit, oh, I'm sorry. He can't, bullshit excuse, right? Okay, because he's a douchebag. No during moments. He tries to give a bullshit excuse. Oh, I'm so sorry and all that. And then he gets his eyes gouged out by the mother. He gets his eyes gouged out. Now the blood and gore in this, that's another thing I would give. It's practical, not CGI. I'll give it that. It has some good practical gory bits. That's another positive thing I can give. Yeah, with good effect when Justin Long gets his eyes gouged out. I'll give it that, and also when Bill Skarsgard's death as well. That was a good effect as well. But because he wants the whole thing, the mother wants to be Tess to be its baby, because he keeps saying baby, you're a baby, whatever, right? And then Tess goes. Georgina Campbell shoots her, and then she walks away till the sun rises, and walk off into the sunset, and that's it. Like I said, the film had potential. It had the potential to be good, right? Like I said, the acting is not bad. I thought Georgina Campbell, I thought she was very decent. Same with Bill Skarsgard. Even he was very decent. Being like the nice guy, right? Sort of like the red herring type of guy, right? Justin Long, his acting was not that bad, but just his character, they wrote his character as a complete douchebag. Nothing more to that character, right? Like I said, some of the camera work, the direction the score was was pretty decently good, and like some couple bits of bloody practical gore, which I appreciated, not CGI. Those things and the build up for the first how many minutes, the first half was pretty decent. It was working its way up until the point it all went downhill. The moment when Bill Skarsgård said, "Oh, I gotta see that for myself." That's when the whole thing just started to go down like so. Down the drain. And Bill Skarsgård, he died from his stupidity because he becomes dumb like a bunch of writers. Says, "Oh, instead of I gotta see this for myself." Why would you not believe that she said she saw a bloody handprint and a dirty room and all that stuff? That she was creeped out, right? Why would you not believe her? No, I gotta go see it for myself. And after when he helps her out, when she helps him out, instead of going to the exit with her, no, he stupidly goes to the opposite direction and then he ends up getting himself killed. So died from his freaking stupidity. And then Justin Long, he just comes out straight out douchebag, hanging out on his mom like a douchebag. And when he goes into that dirty room, like I said, all of a sudden goes taking measurements. He's not overall bothered by what the room looks like. And Richard Brake's character, I don't buy the fact this guy single-handedly made this whole entire maze by himself by hand without the lack of those big construction equipments or whatever. I don't buy the fact he doesn't he single-handedly, which they did say he did it though, but I still don't buy that. Even if it took like 20 or 30 so years. I don't buy the fact this one guy by hand made all these wide, huge tunnels, a maze by himself. And what happened to all the dead bodies of all the women and the children he raped? You know, why are there no skeletons or other corroding bodies? You know, for over the years, right? Yeah, this is the only one the mother is left, right? But no skeletons, no corpses or anything from the other previous women. And yeah, why didn't Tess, like, even when I think she, because I think at the point she didn't have her phone because Bill Skarsgård wanted to give it back to her. But even by the time she did, I think, why didn't she call 911 or text or whatever? Because the cell phones, the reception was pretty good because Justin Long, he was there and he called 911. I don't know about that though, but they get this deformed feral lady with tits hanging out, bouncing up and down. Somehow, yeah, when you're deformed, you're a victim of a raped woman, right? You become superhuman. You can just leap like a popping bunny rabbit and survive like being hit by a cop car or survive a fall from like how many stories from a water tower. Yet you still will be fine. Oh, and I forgot to mention the homeless guy. Speaking of another good gory bit is where the homeless guy, the Georgina Campbell saw earlier, right, when he told her to leave, right? He was there, and he gets killed by the mother, where he gets his arm ripped off and gets beaten to death with it. That's another good gory death as well. You know, just his arm gets ripped off and gets beaten to death with it. That was another very decent death, bloody death as well. So the gore is there and practical as well, not CGI. That was another good part of the movie I like. But the thing is though, it's the biggest downfall is when it comes to is the freaking screenplay. Because Zach Cregger, your directing was all right, but the thing is though, when you wrote this, you just didn't give two shits about what happens after the first good half of the movie. See, there I go again. My stomach does not like how the way this film turned out. That's the thing. That's why it keeps on rebuttaling because how bad the script was. And this is a film that gets 92% Rotten Tomatoes. That still isn't, for a script like this, how it was written, is worthy of a 92% of Rotten Tomatoes. I have no idea why. If you like this movie, it's your opinion. Yes, I can only speak for myself. In my opinion, this was a poorly written script. And to me, it didn't deserve that worthy of a 92% Rotten Tomatoes. It still doesn't to me. I don't know why. Why this film gets a 92% Rotten Tomatoes. It's mind-boggling to me. But if you like the movie, that's fine. Tell me what was a smart thing about the script was so smart about it. What was so smart about Bill Skarsgård going the opposite direction and getting himself killed? What was so smart thinking that this guy can build a whole maze of large tunnels by himself? What was part of it that Justin Long thinking he could dream himself by just throwing her off the water tower? He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and a bullshit excuse. Or why was he thinking that Justin Long thinking just taking measurements in a creepy room where he thinks it's like old creep with a bloody handprint and cages and all that stuff, right? Not be bothered by it. So I don't get I just don't get why this film got praised for. The acting fine, but the thing is, it's just the screenplay I just don't get. But if you like the film, that's fine. It's like I said, I hold nobody who likes this movie. To me, it had potential. It was there, but it is being a big disappointment. Yeah. So now, whether I put this in my top 10 worst of this year. Well, like I said, I rather prefer this over than X or Men or what are the ones that I didn't like this year? There's been so many. Well, alone, there's a lot of good films I like there, but horror films wise, I rather watch. Like I said, I rather watch Nope. I rather watch The Black Phone, which I enjoyed both those films this year. Not horror films were good. Not that there was bad horror films though, but there were some good ones too, like with Nope and The Black Phone. You know, I mean, the film had potential, was there. You know, like I said, attempt to try to do something new, different. You succeed or you're not. This film, it didn't. But like I said, there are films that did succeed, like with The Black Phone, or Nope, or last year with *Malignant* or *Willy's Wonderland*. The film can succeed. Some films like those can succeed, but if you try to do something different too, but at the same time, it can also fail as well. You can attempt it, succeed, or fail. This film, sadly, it didn't. But as I said, once again, if you like the film, that's fine. I hold nobody who likes the film. To me, in my opinion, it was just an utter disappointment. The other thing, the film had potential. The first good start of the movie was fine. It started off good, but the acting was not that. The acting was very decent. The score, the cinematography, the directing was very good. And even the good practical gore was there too. It's just the moment when Bill Skarsgard said he wants to go down there and see for himself. From then onwards, the script just took the big from going the right direction back down to all the way down. To the wrong direction. It all went down the hill from there. So that's my review for Barbarian, which the title Barbarian, just like, okay. Guess you said Richard Brake, he was a barbarian, not the mother. He was the barbarian. He's the one who did all those to the women, not the woman, not the mother. He was more the barbarian, not the mother, but because she was just, for all the bad things that he did. But the thing is, though, that's not an excuse for what the mother did, because she killed innocent people. The homeless man, Bill Skarsgard. Well, just like he was a douchebag anyway, but still, he did horrible things too, But yeah. But as I said, had potential, ended up being disappointing. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next review and more others, and we'll see you next time. Later.